2023 NBA Most Valuable Player ain't the same guy that it's been the last couple of years. But it's not the guy necessarily that you want the most, but it's a guy we still like.
Yeah.
You are.
Anthony.
I am. Daddy. We are talking NBA Most Valuable Player. The announcement has just come.
Yeah, so in first place with 73 votes out of 100, Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers from Cameroon went to Kansas University. I mean, he's had a great season, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
He, without a doubt, deserves the MVP. I'll say that as well. I thought, in my opinion, it was a two-way race for first place. And, I mean, it didn't really matter to me who won. Obviously, I wanted Giannis a little bit more.
Join the club, but just a little bit.
And, I mean, I thought they both deserved the MVP. Second place was Nikola Jokic, which, with 15 out of 100 votes. And, I mean, I said it off camera earlier. I mean, just look at the votes from the last couple years. The national media loves Nikola Jokic.
I don't think the national media loves Nikola Jokic as much as they are indicting the rest of the Denver Nuggets roster by giving him the MVP, because he has to carry that team, because unlike the Bucks, the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, and the Sixers, who right now are potentially on a pathway to win the whole ball of wax in the NBA.
Don't jinx us.
They're extremely balanced.
Yeah.
Even though Antetokounmpo and Embiid are the stars that often carry that team.
Yeah.
I just think that there's so little talent on Denver in comparison. That's why they gave Jokic these MVPs.
Yeah. And in past years, I would have said, yeah, you do have a point. But guess who was healthy this year? Jamal Murray.
Okay.
Who did have a big impact on this team. Without Jamal Murray, this team makes the playoffs. They're not a one seed, though. And also, Mike Malone, their head coach, you got to give credit to him, too. I mean, he's not a bad head coach at all. Great head coach. Jokic, I wouldn't say carried this team. There was less talent on that team than on the Bucks and the Sixers. But, I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, Embiid and Giannis were the better players. Giannis in third place with 12 votes. They're the better players.
I would have given Giannis number 2 as well.
Yeah.
Behind Embiid. I think number 1, you saw, even though they played almost the same amount of games, Embiid played just a few more, both of them had a lot of load management this year.
Yeah.
And so I think it shrunk the number of games each of them played.
Yeah, but it was the same thing for Jokic. Jokic didn't play every game.
But I think in the games that Embiid played where it was, his presence was critical.
Yeah. Not
that Giannis didn't come through in those games, but Embiid came through even more. He had more season-defining, career-defining performances in games the Sixers had to have to keep them in that top 3 to contend in the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
I think that was a big reason why Embiid won this award. I think there has a tendency with NBA MVP voters to take into account, okay, these guys should have won it in past years. They didn't. We're going to give it to them this year. They shouldn't do that, but you know that some of them do.
And I'll say this. Going into this year, I think Giannis should have 3 MVPs, and Embiid should already have 1. I thought that of the ones Jokic won, Giannis should have 1, Embiid should have 1. And this year, I mean, I think Embiid really, I mean, he probably should have won it. So, I mean, I agree with it. Like, I don't think there's a problem with it. So, we'll see. I mean, the real question about the MVPs that we always talk about after is, do they live up to it in the playoffs?
And that's something to remember. This is strictly a regular season award.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with playoff performance. They don't take into account the fact that Giannis and the Bucks fell flat on their face in the first round against Miami, while the Sixers took care of business getting into the second round in what is turning into a fantastic series, I think, with the Boston Celtics. Strictly regular season. But I think more often than not, you don't see the MVP on a championship team.
And that's what I was going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Will the 76ers, led by the MVP, win a championship? That's the question in all of our minds now.
Since they now own home court in the Eastern Conference, having won Game 1 in Boston, since they now have that home court advantage, they're in position.
Oh, yeah.
They're absolutely in position. I think the table is being set for what could be a scintillating Sixers Golden State Warriors finals.
Incredible. It would be awesome to see Curry and Embiid. What if, I mean, who knows? Don't ever doubt LeBron James.
I know.
Don't doubt the king, which is going to make it really interesting. You look at the Suns, who are struggling right now with Chris Paul's injuries. The Nuggets, though, I'd love to see Embiid and Jokic going at it in the finals. That would be such a storyline matchup. You know that Nikola Jokic would hear it here in Philly. As it is among Wisconsinites, among Philadelphians, it's among anyone who thinks that their guy should have won the MVP. No one likes Nikola Jokic.
And I shouldn't say nobody likes Nikola Jokic, but
I mean, like,
the grand majority
yeah.
don't think he should be an MVP.
Yeah.
The grand majority of people who don't live at 5,280 feet, pretty much. The right guy won it.
Yeah,
the right guy won
it
it this year, absolutely. And so I can take solace in that, even though our guy didn't win it, our number one guy, the guy from the team that we've adopted as our number two, the Sixers, yeah. Joel Embiid, enjoy this.
Incredible season.
And just remember, though, MVPs mean that much compared to championships in legacy.
Yeah.
That's your next challenge, Joel Embiid. Go get it.
Well, here's the question. 4-4-4-4? Please.
Not against Boston.
Please, yes.
No faux.
Faux.
Ain't gonna happen. No foe to the power of foe. And I'm not talking about the Vietnamese food here either. So, but they've got the pathway to a title.
So, go Sixers. Let's go, Joe!
For Little Buddy, I'm Daddy.
So long from the Silver G Sports Studios in Philadelphia. Clap your hands, everybody. Philadelphia, 76ers.